now been set as they try to repeat in 25-26. Still a long way to go until March, but it starts tonight. And Destiny Thomas wins the tip for Cincinnati. We're underway with Kalia DeVillisi, one of those highly touted freshmen running the point for Cincinnati. And immediately a 4-point play chance. Maya Perry, quick catch and shoot, knocks it in, and a chance to cap it off at the line.
Well, Maya Perry coming back home to her home base, Ohio, one of the newcomers on this Katrina Merriweather roster. She's known to be a shooter, does not disappoint, immediately coming in and 4-point play.
Transferred in from Florida Atlantic, spent 2 years there, last year an all-conference second teamer in the American, shot it better than 35%. And that's been something that's been missing from the Cincinnati offense in years past. Just getting it across the timeline, and Lynn to the cup and one. So immediately both teams getting the benefit of extra chances at the line.
Well, Lehigh is prepared. Cincinnati got out, extended it full court in that 1-2-2, very aggressive on the ball. But Lehigh ready to push in transition, got the ball up the court quickly, immediately downhill to Lynn.
That's a feel-good moment. It's a feel-good evening for Whitney Lind, who has a huge fan section behind the Lehigh bench. She is from Florence, Kentucky, which is only about 30 minutes south of the city of Cincinnati. The Lind family actually had the Mountain Hawks over for dinner last night leading up to this game. Pick and roll with Thomas, couple of spins inside, and good contest there from Lind. Rebound to Ozato. So the starting lineup for Lehigh tonight: Reddy, Ozato, Lovett, Lind, and Fandre, and that's good inside for Lovett. And the Bearcats counter with a couple of freshmen, as you mentioned, AB with Torrance and DeVillisi in there, Thomas, Jackson, and Perry. Here's Perry, 10 to shoot. DeVillisi pulls up and connects.
Kalia DeVillisi, the freshman, she plays so confident in that mid-range high post area.
An ESPN top 100 recruit, 4-star out of high school. Everything but the finish there for Lynn. Thomas has the rebound. The Bearcats excited to get Destiny Thomas back. Missed the entirety of last season with a leg injury. You see her with that brace on the right knee. Perry kicks it, and it's over the head of Jackson, out of bounds. A turnover, Cincinnati, led by Katrina Merriweather, her 3rd season with the Bearcats. And we mentioned the jump up they made last year. AB surpassed their win total from her first year and up the Big 12 win total by a couple wins as well.
What Coach Merriweather has been able to do systematically, not only at Cincinnati, but every stop she's been at, she's been proven to increase the wins and put the team in postseason.
Addie Messier has done a fantastic job with Lehigh as well. She is in some highly prestigious company as the Kathy Delaney Smith mid-major preseason watch list for the mid-major coach of the year. Grad of Princeton back in 2011. She's had a winning record in each of her first 3 years with the Mountain Hawks.
I like what Coach Addie said when she said the Coach of the Year award is really a staff recognition opportunity.
And she said none of this is possible without everybody involved. She said it's very exciting, but didn't want it to be all about herself. All of a sudden, after the fantastic start, with both teams getting some and ones, it's gotten a little bit sloppy with some balls flying through some hands.
Well, both teams are going to play an aggressive style of defense. They're going to close out hard with their hands up high, really looking to put on ball pressure and disrupt.
Alliance and Deba just came in for Cincinnati. Thomas hits the bench. Here's Lind. The most improved player on this Lehigh team, according to Coach Messier. Outside, Lovett, and she took an extra step.
Phenomenal defense by Cincinnati with a heavy focus right here on Alliance and Deba. She was able to stay in her stance and force Lynn to kick it out. Then on the kick out, a nice solid closeout before the travel by Levette.
Torrance dumps it down inside and knocked away from Ndiba. It'll stay at this end. Bearcats really like what they've seen in gotten so far out of Kylie Torrance. Katrina Merriweather said she has been the biggest surprise. She has been a standout and taking advantage of some extra opportunities with some key players banged up for Cincinnati. And that's a 5-second violation. Perry can't get it in.
Well, Cincinnati ran their routes well, but they just did not execute the fundamentals of the screen on that baseline out of bounds play. You must force the defense to make a decision by setting a solid screen.
Second Bearcat turnover of the evening. Up ahead and an extra give. Love it, denied. But the second chance, that is put in by Belle Bramer, the all-conference rookie team selection in the Patriot League last year.
This is what you like about Lehigh. They just play hard. When you push hard and you run the floor in transition, good things happen like second chance opportunities. Ndiba,
the original block, but Bramer averaged 4 a game last year. You expect her to take a jump up in scoring this season as well. Mountain Hawks lost 2 All-Patriot League selections last year, with Maddie Albrecht no longer in the fold along with Ella Stemmer. Bramer for 3. And a long rebound out to Perry.
Well, Lehigh is going to shoot those quick threes. Cincinnati must get back early and match up.
Perry thought about it. Good closeout from Lind. And she throws it away. Tough positioning there in the corner, and Lind comes away with it. Trying to size up Ndiba. And a block, but a foul. A little bit of body contact there. It was clean up top. They got tangled up down below, and 2 free throws for Lind.
So again, pushing in transition. Whitney Lind down the court, coming out early and aggressive. Alliance Ndiba stands at 6'3". Whitney Lind stands at 6'2". So she's not deterred.
And Lind, we mentioned the local kid, a big fan section here tonight. She had a conversation with Addie Messier after the season and spoke about what it would take to be an all-conference player in the Patriot League. And they expect some big things from her this year. Last season averaged 5 points, 2 rebounds, career high of 13 points, and off to a great start tonight. So 9-6 Lehigh, 6:09 remaining in the first quarter.
Lehigh answering Cincinnati's pressure with some pressure of their own.
Lob over to the corner, Reagan Jackson. A great closeout there from Reddy, the freshman. Jab step and the 3. Villasy off the mark. Azzato has it knocked away from behind, and Villasy loses it as well. So it's going back to Lehigh.
When you look at the pace of this game, if the game continues to go up and down, the favor might go to the guards of Lehigh. They've got more experience in the backcourt, whereas Cincinnati has 2 freshmen with a lot of ball handling responsibilities.
And that's one of the reasons, AB, that Coach Messier was so excited about this year's team, because how often do you lose 4 starters and still return multiple players to average 10 or more minutes, and Fandre's one of them a chance for 3 at the line. This is a team that lost a lot and still returns a lot. Fandre, the focal point of it, and a chance for 3.
Well, Lily Fandre, she is going to score. She understands that this is her moment as a senior to take the lead and take the responsibility. She's aggressive when she goes to the basket. Great job of getting Delaney Snyder up, using her hesitation to get the defender in the air and finish the and one.
Fandre will check out, Lind back in. Lehigh going to back out of this pressure here just enough to take a few extra ticks off that shot clock for Cincinnati. Slip down low to Snyder, and going up strong, she gets fouled.
Lehigh is switching the ball screens. Early in the quarter, we saw Cincinnati trying to move the ball just to give the coaches a chance to see exactly how they could exploit that switch and the rotations. Now they've got it. They're going to keep the ball screen in the middle of the court, go to the middle, and throw right over the top to Snyder.
So Snyder at the line, coming off a season last year, she averaged 2 points and 3 rebounds a game. And this is already the 3rd center in the game right now for Cincinnati, and something Katrina Merriweather talked to us about. The most depth on this team is at that 5 spot. And Katrina Merriweather doesn't care how many minutes everybody plays. She said, just get us to 40 minutes whoever's playing the best on any given night is going to play the most minutes.
Cincinnati has a kind of a hot hand philosophy. That's not only on offense with scoring, but also defensively. When you look at the defensive assignment on a squad like Lehigh, where there's a lot of undersized players, so to speak, on the court, and Lily Fandre being as mobile as she is, the fives for Cincinnati have a big task at hand tonight.
Bramer picks up her dribble, closely guarded by Bird, who's fresh into the game for Cincinnati. And Ramaya Bird, steady on defense as always, comes away with the steal.
Ramaya Bird is just so long. She plays with that length, able to get it out in transition and then quick up the court to Maya Perry for her second made three of the game.
So as good as advertised for Perry from long range. 38% 2 years ago, 35% last year. She had a game she made 7 threes against North Florida while at FAU. Inside turnaround, and that's pure for Bramer.
Well, that's a nice cut by Bramer. Lehigh is going to keep the court spread and send cutters through the lane.
Pull up to Villasey, front rim. Snyder the offensive rebound. And a whistle comes in, it's going the other way. And we'll take the timeout here in Cincinnati. It got off to a frantic start. Both teams with a couple of and-ones. Fandre finishing tough inside. But Cincinnati still hanging in there, down by 3 against the Mountain Hawks.
Maya Perry bringing in that experience, some maturity to add to the newcomers and the new faces on the court.
Bearcats come away with a steal to Villasey, strong to the cup, and earns a trip to the line. They've been so impressed. A lot of attention to Dee Alexander, the highly touted recruit, the number 11 in the nation. She is out for the foreseeable future with an ankle injury that she sustained in practice leading up to the season. But all the attention on Alexander, and I think the staff is even more impressed with Villasey and the way she's come in and really handled that point guard responsibility. And you see Alexander there. It was announced by the team just a couple of weeks ago that she would be out for a period of time. They hope to get her back towards the end of the season. But the way Villasey has just come in and really taken over this point guard role, for all the attention being on one recruit, Villasey's made it perfectly known that it wasn't just a one-player class.
That's right. This is a class of 6, the standout 6, if we can give them an acronym.
Loose ball foul there is a good rebound inside for Linz. Villasey had 17 points, 7 assists in an exhibition game leading up to the season opener tonight. And a missed free throw there for Villasey. She actually missed one in that exhibition game when she had 17 and 7. And she was mad at herself for missing free throws, so it kind of gives you a taste of the mentality of a freshman coming in as well. Fandre from long range, it's off the mark. Mary Carden into the game for the first time, a transfer from Oral Roberts, giving Cincinnati more depth inside. Mid-range, Jackson rattles in and out, and a really good rebound from Fandre, grabbing it with one hand.
Well, again, Ramaya Bird for Cincinnati with her long arms able to deflect the transition. Lehigh keeping their foot on the gas, trying to push it up ahead to Whitney Lynn.
Bird offers some really good defense. As a matter of fact, it's what caught the previous staff's eye when Michelle Clark-Hurd, the former head coach for Cincinnati, recruited Ramaya Bird out of high school. She actually got put on to Bird because she was guarding Dee Alexander in a high school game as Lynn connects from 3. And the previous coaching staff acknowledged, if this player can guard one of the top players in the nation, that's somebody we want on our team. And hence Bird coming to Cincinnati and now teammates with that player that she was guarding, Dee Alexander.
Defense and rebounding, vital aspects of a game. And when coaches recruit, they're not just looking at scoring, they're also looking at the ability to defend and rebound at the next level, because you can't win without defending and rebounding.
All the way to the cup, and Lind going back to the line after the turnover by Jackson. And this Lehigh team, maybe early on, looks really good in this first quarter.
So against the zone, Cincinnati tries to mix up their defenses, and Lehigh, no problem picking it apart and moving the ball around, hitting that high percentage corner three was Whitney Lind.
Addie Messier acknowledged that Cincinnati is the bigger team. They were going to have to scrap tonight. We've seen that with their defensive play. They've been getting touches on everything. And she also emphasized making it a 5-on-5 game. If Cincinnati with their guards gets out in transition and beats Lehigh down the floor, it's going to make for a tough night. They have made this a 5-on-5 game early on tonight.
Lehigh has done a phenomenal job of getting back on defense and forcing Cincinnati to play half-court offense. On the flip side, Lehigh has secured some rebounds and been up the court quickly.
Inside, and another turnover. Fandre coming over on the help D. And here's Lovett leading the charge. Extra pass over into the corner, and that is good from long range. Mianis, the freshman, making her impact early and forcing a Cincinnati timeout.
Well, once again, Lehigh understands the assignment. When Cincinnati goes zone, they are going to move the ball, find the next pass. Coach Messier said their objective is to find daylight and let it fly.
And that is not the scouting report, AB, on Ellie Mianis. Coach Messier said she's a post player who likes to bang. It's something that Lehigh really hasn't had in the last couple of years, and she was described as somebody that does a lot of her work inside, so stepping out for a three. Add that one to the scouting report, too.
And a freshman at that. Ellie Mianis is a first-year player. Like you said, 6'2", but understands the assignment and the culture of Lehigh. Everyone gets excited for everyone's success.
A two-time All-State selection at Cary Grove High School in Illinois. And that physicality inside surprised some of the upperclassmen, the Linds and the Fandres of the world. And now stepping outside, I think Coach Messier maybe missed a note there when she was talking to us leading up to this game.
Yeah, she mentioned that when Ellie cut through the lane and decided to post up on her own volition and just be physical and bang inside, some of her teammates were like, whoa, what's happening? We're not used to this. But she said, bring on the physicality. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I'll go out and hit the three.
Yeah, different element for this Lehigh team, and they are doubling up Cincinnati. It's a 10-0 Mountain Hawks run. Here's Joya Crawford. Lehigh's been really one of the lone offensive sparks for Cincinnati tonight. She'll try again. It's short, and Lynn the rebound.
Lehigh doing a good job of staying in the gaps and really forcing Cincinnati to have to think and make strategic decisions. Whitney Lind inside, trying to post up the smaller Crawford.
Love it. Inside, turnaround. Mianis is good, so that's more of what we expected from the freshman. She's got 5 points off the bench.
Lehigh taking their time, moving the basketball to exploit the mismatch.
Kick, corner three, Jackson is good.
When it comes to three-point shooting, Maya Perry has some company in Reagan Jackson, who has led the team in threes for the past 2 seasons.
Quick trigger is short for Lind. And those are the opportunities there. If Cincinnati can get out and run and make this a 5-on-3, 4-on-2 situation, they can have some success. Perry inside, catching the Mountain Hawks on a bad rotation, gets a deuce. So Perry leading Cincinnati with 9 points. Lind has 10 to lead the way for the Mountain Hawks. Trying to feed her again here. Bird comes over with the help and forces the missed shot. This is where Cincinnati wants to go, beat the Mountain Hawks down the floor. Backdoor not there for Perry.
Cincinnati has made an adjustment now for that Torrance turnover. You can see Cincinnati playing more now to the Lehigh style. They are without a true center on the court. Torrance and Ramaya Bird holding down that quasi 4-5 position for the Bearcats.
This roster certainly has some depth and flexibility to it. Missing some key pieces to start the season. And that's going the other way, an offensive foul. Alana Reddy getting tied up with Reagan Jackson.
Well, Alana Reddy, she's an Aussie from Sydney, Australia. She has a lot of experience playing the game, and she's not afraid to get in there and be physical. That possession a little bit too much as Reagan Jackson beat her to the spot.
Crawford tries to cross it over and gets inside to beat the buzzer before the quarter comes to an end.
Well, Joya Crawford getting the...
Now up 6 early after the first quarter against Cincinnati.
The name on the jersey, they have so much pride in Lehigh. And not only the basketball reputation, but academically as well. A lot of pride in the university.
The Patriot League in general is a very highly regarded conference for their academics. When you think about Lehigh, Holy Cross, and then of course you have the naval academies with, or the militaries with the Navy Academy and Army as well. Very smart teams, and we were just talking about that coming in. A couple of fouls on Cincinnati early in their second quarter, and I think that epitomizes it, right? Lehigh is playing smart, where Cincinnati is showing off some of that youthfulness, I think you can say.
That's right. Little things like that possession right there, as Bella Bremer uses the shot fake. She gets around the defender, uses her body, takes her time to shot fake before going up for that basket.
Here's Torrance, almost knocked away by Bremer. Hopping inside and just throws it to the rim to earn a trip to the line.
That's what you see sometimes from the freshmen. The athleticism of Kylie Torrance is bar none. You can see the way that she extends, she gets up and down the court so quickly, has phenomenal lateral explosiveness. But when she drives to the basket, as you said, she just got the ball up in the air. But that type of hustle and effort is what keeps her on the court and allows her to start as a freshman.
Well, she made an immediate impression with this coaching staff, and I think she was going to play regardless, AB, but Katrina Merriweather told us she plays an even more important role now without Alexander, without Barrett to start the season. Those point forwards, as Coach Merriweather said. So Torrance was going to play. Now it's just a more important role to start the year.
And now as a starter and as a young lady who's going to be in quite a lot of minutes. Cincinnati likes to mix things up defensively. And right now, Lehigh just picking apart the Cincinnati defense. They're pulling the backside defenders up high, leaving that lane wide open for cutters.
They love to cut. Azzado caps it off there. Sliding into the point guard role this year.
Cincinnati now trying to go back to some pick and roll, trying to exploit the Lehigh switches.
DeVillicy lines it up from 3.
A much-needed three-pointer for Cincinnati before the stretch got too far. And Kalia DeVillicy, her second bucket of the game.
Mountain Hawks by 5. Lovett on the drive. And a tough contest leads to 2 free throws. A little bit late sliding over there. Torrance and Crawford both there. And Crawford gets dinged for it, her first.
A nice shot here by Kalia DeVillicy. Cincinnati was moving the basketball around, and then on the other end, Joya Crawford came over for the help side, but rotated and pivoted her hips at the last minute. If she would have taken the contact by Grayson Lovett head on, it may have been a different call.
Now Lovett 1 of 2 at the line. Fandre the offensive rebound. Kick out. Lovett for 3. A long rebound tracked down by Azzado once again. Lovett not wanting the 3 that time. And she'll set up some offense here. Lind through traffic. Second try for Lind, and a foul. That is Cincinnati's 4th foul already in this second quarter, less than 2 minutes into the quarter.
Well, what a homecoming for Whitney Lind. And you never know when a player comes back if they're going to play too uptight and nervous, or they're just going to play super aggressive. And right now, Whitney Lynn is playing aggressive. Misses the first one, gets her own rebound, goes right back up to the basket, drawing the foul.
And based on that look there, we saw there was an argument to be made. She could have gone to the line after the first shot, but stuck with it, and she makes a pair of free throws. She has 12 points, 7 of which have come from the line. It's been working hard for those points, just 2 of 7 from the floor, but she's made all her free throws. And the Mountain Hawks keeping Cincinnati at arm's reach here. Jackson hits another 3.
Smart play to reject the screen, attack the baseline, and hit the corner pass. Reagan Jackson, hands and feet were ready.
Now this is where Cincinnati needs to be disciplined now. And that's a foul away from the basketball down low. An offensive foul. So right as I was about to say, AB, one more defensive foul, and Lehigh shooting free throws the rest of the way. They get the off-ball foul. And Jackson hitting the 3 at the other end.
Lehigh is trying to post up Kalia DeFilici. She's listed on the roster, DeFilici, at 5'8", and Lehigh is trying to find a way to take advantage of their taller guards. Right now, Lehigh on the court, the shortest player that they have listed in the mix right now is 5'9".
Trying to capitalize on some of that size. Jackson started to heat up from 3 as this game has gone along. DeFilici, that's an offensive foul. Fandre slides over to take the charge. Just more disciplined defending from this Lehigh team.
Well, Lehigh's mixing it up defensively, and the freshman is unsure of exactly how to attack this ball screen. Lehigh deciding then to ice the screen and force the rejection. That time it turned into a forced turnover.
Off the mark for Fandre, and DeFilici jumps in for a rebound and gets pushed along the way. So a foul against the Mountain Hawks there. Goes against Katie Hurt. Some of her first action of the night. A very highly regarded player within the Mountain Hawks program. Somebody that doesn't play a lot but is the unsung hero. The biggest supporter of all her teammates. Charged for that foul there. Cincinnati a chance to make this a 1-possession game. Long skip to DeFilici, a couple of jabs. Thomas has the offensive rebound. Jackson hits another 3.
Reagan Jackson now 3 for 3 from the three-point line in this game. Combine that with how aggressive Cincinnati is overall, shooting 6 for 8 from 3.
All of Jackson's points have come from behind the arc. Azado has the answer right in front of that Cincinnati bench.
Lehigh firing right back with their 3rd made 3 of the game. Lehigh doing a good job of keeping this margin. They're still up by 5. At one point they were up 11. But Lehigh managing the pace of this game.
Over to Jackson, double team comes, down low, Bird can't handle it. And that'll stay with Cincinnati.
So Cincinnati with the inside-out action off of the offensive rebound by Destiny Thomas. And then right back, Lehigh moving the ball around, finding Jessie Azato.
5 seconds left for Jackson after the inbound. Perry for 3. It's too short. Another really tough rebound. That's more of the Mianis that we expected, physical inside. Mianis carves out space and lays it in. That's very easy in there for the freshman.
The precision of the Lehigh passes. They're straight lines, they're on target, and they've got such speed and velocity.
Over to Perry, and that is a wide open look from 3. Wrong player to leave that wide open.
Maya Perry now 3 for 4 from the three-point line, 12 points for the newcomer.
It's been an element of the Cincinnati offense that frankly has not been there the last couple of years. Long range shooting. Fandre steps through and gets fouled. And she will be shooting free throws when we come back to Fifth Third Arena in Cincinnati.
Whitney Lynn just came out with a punch. She's been running in transition. She's been getting out and moving the basketball, really providing that spark for Lehigh.
Fandre at the line for the Mountain Hawks here, coming out of the timeout, who are now 10 of 11 at the line as a team. Fandre with that make is 2 of 2 with 4 points. And we mentioned the Lynns had the Mountain Hawks over for dinner last night. I'm curious as to what they had, because clearly whatever they ate has given them some energy and some maybe superior talent tonight so far in this game.
Well, we can look up into the stands and we know whatever it was made with a lot of love, because the Florence community is out to support Whitney Lynn and Lehigh, showing them a lot of love and support.
Now they got to go back to the drawing board on that rotation. DeVillisi to the cup with a foul. And Fandre, the guilty party, down low.
DeVillisi has been so aggressive this game. She's attacking the basket. She's not shying away from any type of contact at all.
That's the first foul on Fandre, and DeVillisi caps off a three-point play. Katrina Merriweather said, if I could play DeVillisi 40 minutes, I would. Tough layup. Mianis gets it back, and still battling down there. It's knocked away by Thomas. Bearcats have picked up a handful of blocks so far tonight. That is their second. One of them was wiped off the board because of a foul by Ndiba earlier in the game, but they've been tough inside.
And that's what Cincinnati does. They like to get up and extend. They love to be aggressive when trying to block shots. But Lehigh just moving the basketball around the perimeter, and another made three. Now their fourth made three.
Azado seems to be sliding into that point guard role seamlessly. Played off the ball there to connect from long range. She has 8 and is yet to miss from the floor. Thomas doubled and travels.
Tough turnover for Cincinnati, but Lehigh in prior possession, moving the basketball around, always prepared for the next pass, forcing the 5 defender for Cincinnati to close out all the way to the corner.
Bramer, she's playing with 2 fouls right now for Lehigh. Azado tries again. First miss of the night for the point guard for the Mountain Hawks. Now in her junior year, and it rolls out of bounds back to Cincinnati.
For Cincinnati, number 8, Joya Crawford.
So one thing you notice here is the rotations. Cincinnati doing what Coach Merriweather said she's prepared to do, which is to go deep into the roster and to continue to sub. But one of the other things that's forced that is how aggressive Lehigh has been at the rim, forcing Cincinnati to pick up some unpreferred type of fouls.
Crawford to the cup, and that's an offensive foul. So Fandre slides over and takes another charge, the second that she's drawn on Cincinnati tonight.
Well, once again, Cincinnati put in position where the whistle is going against the coach's desires. Joya Crawford being aggressive to the rim, but Lehigh is prepared. Their defense creates chaos, but is in the right place at the right time.
Fandre, good position inside. Jackson recovers to take it away. That's one there, I think, AB. You got to get it over the top, right, with that smaller guard on you.
Yeah, absolutely, especially Reagan Jackson. You know she's going to be physical, try to front, get around, and force that deflection.
Just like that, going up top, and Bramer connects.
Okay.
So they're getting Cincinnati in tough switches right now.
And like you said, getting over the top. When a switch happens, the defender is usually forced to front because there's going to be a size differential.
Mountain Hawks have allowed Cincinnati to get back in it, but really not letting them get any closer than 5 to 7 points. It's at a 7-point lead right now. Jackson tripped, and the Mountain Hawks over the limit as well, so Reagan Jackson will shoot free throws.
Coach Addy said that the Lehigh defense is all about chaos. Lehigh's going to play scrappy on defense, be disruptive. And right now, Cincinnati's having a difficult time finding a rhythm and finding a flow. Of course, they're shooting well from the three-point line, and that's what's keeping them in the game, 7 for 10 from the three. But, Anthony, I don't know if that's enough to last a duration.
Well, that foul was committed by Fandre, her second, so you have 3 very key Mountain Hawks with 2 fouls, Fandre, Bramer, and Osato. 2 of them on the floor right now. Lind, outside, extra pass, Mianis banks it in. I didn't know it was open late on a Tuesday.
Going to the bank on a Tuesday. Mianis, great shot, moving the basketball around. Lehigh always ready for the next pass.
Their motto is share it and shoot it. There's a prime example of it right there. De Villasy doesn't get the bounce, and Deba hits the offensive glass. Perry spots up in the corner and hits.
Well, usually you don't want to see a 6'6" player kick it out off of an offensive rebound, but if you're going to kick it out to Maya Perry for a 3, nice bucket. And look at Lehigh, right back at them. Pushing in transition is a key to the game for Lehigh.
It's kind of the opposite of their defensive mentality. Make it a 5-on-5 game. Offensively, they want to have the numbers advantage. That is off of Fandre as it's ripped away, and it's going to stay with Cincinnati.
Well, Lily Fandre just working hard for that rebound. Just as Alliance and Deba got a rebound, secured it, found an open teammate, and was able to find Maya Perry for Perry's 4th three-pointer of the night. We'll see if Cincinnati can have a cleaner baseline out of bounds execution. That time they get the ball in.
Jackson hits another 3, so they continue to go in from long range. 9 of 13 as a team now, and Cincinnati within 4.
And 7 of those 9 coming from just 2 players alone, that in Jackson and Perry.
Looking for Mianis inside, and knocked away in Debo with the good hands.
So Lehigh continuing to try to get the ball inside, despite Cincinnati being so big defensively.
And Debo, one of the key returners inside for Cincinnati, made 18 starts last year. She also missed 10 games towards the end of the season with a foot injury. Back healthy to start this year. Almost tipped away, collected, and then thrown away. Ready. Freshman mistake. Cincinnati can play 2 for 1 here. Game clock at 42 seconds. And thrown off the legs. Then slides over to play some good defense.
You look here, the Cincinnati players are breathing heavy. They're looking a little gassed as Lehigh keeps the tempo. When a team is forced to get back on defense every possession, it can wear over the course of the game.
Now Jackson fouled on the release, a late closeout, and Reddy commits the foul, so Reagan Jackson's gonna shoot some free throws here, a chance to make it a 2-point game.
We talk about Reagan Jackson and the impact she's had on the Bearcats, now in her 3rd season and a 3rd-year starter. The mid-range game was really what she came in known for, that sweet spot and that underutilized area on the court. Because Cincinnati has had such a need for a 3-point shooter, Reagan Jackson has just rolled her sleeves up and embraced that role. And oh yeah, by the way, Anthony, don't forget 2 years ago when Cincinnati needed a point guard, she rolled her sleeves up and embraced that role also.
A jack-of-all-trades kind of player, especially from that mid-range and 3-point area. Fandre just came back in with the 2 fouls for this offensive possession. Shot clock and game clock separated by 6 seconds. Lynn to the cup, and it rolls out. But she'll have a chance to do more damage at the line where she is perfect so far tonight.
Whitney Lynn is having a game. The closeout. Now, Allianz Ndiba is a great defender. She has phenomenal lateral quickness. So what does Lynn do? She gives her a slight little shot fake, gets Ndiba just raised up enough to attack down the left lane.
Whit is legit, that's for sure. Putting the Patriot League on notice from start. As Cincinnati can hold for the final shot, 1 of 2 at the line. Katie Hurt checked in for Fandre to avoid picking up a 3rd foul. Here's Hurt now guarding Crawford. Over to Perry, 8 seconds to go in the half. Perry trying to create, gets inside, floater, too strong. Tip towards the rim, bodies flying, and the time runs out. They let him play to end the half. No whistle called, and it stays at a 3-point Lehigh advantage after 20. It's a very good Patriot League opponent, but one that you would expect to come in and win on opening night.
Well, one stat that really stands out is the offensive rebounding. Right now, Lehigh is dominating Cincinnati in the offensive rebound category, and we see the Lehigh defense again being scrappy, forcing another Bearcat turnover. And
a miss at the rim. Reddy just got stuck under the basket after the excellent cut. Over to Jackson, 4 threes in that first half. Team leader in points with 16, and now give her 18 to make it a 1-point game.
Well, we talk about that sweet spot for Reagan Jackson. It looks like it's the 3-point line today, but over the course of her career, it's that 2-point pull-up.
That is a bump on the drive. Thomas getting handsy in there with Fandre, leading to the foul. 3rd on Thomas. Azado to trigger in. Levette. Once again, a backdoor cut, but Lind misses, so a couple of good looks. Mountain Hawks have not capitalized to open up the second half.
Coach Addy calls those throw-its, where the players cut to the basket and just with confidence, she wants them to throw it to the cutter.
Perry drives to the cup, and Cincinnati has one of their first leads of the ball game. First lead since it was 6-5, but they don't have it for very long. Lind beats everyone down the floor.
Well, Lynn now with 15 points, leading Lehigh in scoring.
So kudos to Cincinnati, trailing by as many as 13 earlier in this game. They have just taken a lead. Lehigh gets it right back. But a tightly contested contest early in quarter 3. A foul on that pass. And they're going to get ready on the grab.
We know Coach Merriweather likes to spread the court and play that motion spread offense, but right now they shift a little bit. They go into a horn set, keep it in the shoot, so to speak, hit off the ball screen, and just keep it a simple pick and roll.
Long out to Jackson with Bramer right in her face. Fandre comes to help. Once again, a great closeout, forcing Perry to drive inside, and she'll have to do her work at the line. Azado has been great on those closeouts, but kudos to Perry for making the adjustment and taking it inside instead of settling for threes.
That's right. When the defense runs out ultra aggressive, again, Maya Perry has hit 4 threes in the game. Defenders are going to run her off the 3-point line, putting it on the floor and attacking the rim. Now, where does Cincinnati need to elevate that? Maya Perry attacked, but attacked to a close block. She had a teammate in Destiny Thomas on that block. If Cincinnati can adjust their spacing and Thomas can learn how to peel out of that to allow then a 2-on-1 at the rim.
Perry goes 1 of 2, and Fandre has the rebound, so we're knotted up at 50. Giannis wide open, and she makes Cincinnati pay. Nobody guarded her. Fresh into the game, just took out Bramer a moment ago and makes her impact once again.
Giannis, 3 for 3 is the first year from the 3-point line.
And Cincinnati turns it over again. An errant pass. Here comes Levette. Giannis, trailer. Passes it up over to Fandre. Azado rattles in another 3.
Share it and shoot it. Share it and shoot it. That is the identity, the mantra, and the game plan of Lehigh. And right now, it's on fire.
Cincinnati had a lead until they didn't. Back-to-back threes. Mianis and Azzado catching Cincinnati off guard. One of those players that played in 30 games, wasn't a key contributor offensively, but slid into the point guard role. And she is very clearly capable of shouldering an offensive load.
That's right. Azzado with her now career high. Her first 2 seasons, she just averaged just under 2 points per game in each of those seasons. So this breakout year, not only for Azzado, but it looks like, Anthony, another breakout year for Lehigh.
Entry feed, and again getting scrappy down there. The Mountain Hawks called for a foul here, but a lot of denials. And Mianis, I beg your pardon, Vandre called for the foul.
Well, all night long, Lehigh has been swarming on a post feed, making it difficult for Cincinnati to get the ball inside. Coach Addy said their defense is poised to create chaos, to be disruptive and to be scrappy. And all night long, that's been the game plan. Where's the weakness? Right now, it's at the three-point line. Maya Perry is just lighting up Lehigh, her 5th made 3.
And now she has to defend Lind. Vandre on the bench right now for Lehigh's offense, just picked up her 3rd foul. It's one of those cuts that Lehigh likes, but that one out of the range of Lind.
So Cincinnati off of the set play here. One of the oldest plays in the book. And why? Because it's so difficult to guard when you've got a great shooter like Maya Perry.
DeVillisi, crafty, off the window for a 3-point play.
Well, Kalia DeVillisi, we saw early in the game, she was aggressive going to the rim. She's been spreading the ball, been a little quiet, and now right back at it. 10 points, double figures for one of the Super 6 freshmen for the Bearcats.
Just smooth to the rim. Trina Merriweather said she is as good as advertised for the 62nd ranked recruit by ESPN. And she ties it at 56. Levette, hounded by Jackson.
All night long, Cincinnati has done a solid job of putting on ball pressure, but they have lacked when it comes to help side and guarding the cutters.
Baseline, it squeaks through Lynn's hands, extra feed, Azzado hits another. Not the intended target, it went right through Lynn's hands, but it works out for Jessie Azzado.
Well, Jessie Azzado just so confident in that quick release she has. 16 points on the night, 4 of 5 at the 3.
Taking that point guard role and running with it. Perry skipping through, feeds Thomas for the deuce.
Now that right there is difficult for anybody to stop. Destiny Thomas at the rim. She finishes well and she has great hands. Moving the basketball inside out to the next pass. Jessie Azzado.
And again, that was supposed to go to Lind. And it went right through her hands. Fortunately, Hurt was there and fed Azzado for the 3. And now Cincinnati again a chance to take the lead. They had it for, what, 5 seconds before Lehigh eventually took it right back?
That's right, Lehigh is just ready and always ready to respond. And there it is again for Cincinnati. The lead by the other freshman that is in the starting lineup in Torrance.
4 points tonight for Torrance. Lind hits it.
Okay, Whitney Lind, she came to play. You can see the look on her face. She's got that kind of Sabrina Ionescu stare in her eyes at the moment. She wants this win.
DeVillisi, the cross, rims out. Indiba can't bank it in. Azzado leading the break to the cup.
Right back. Lehigh wasting no time. Cincinnati has no urgency in securing the rebounds.
And Deba grabs that one off the miss from Hurt. 3-on-2 the other way. Perry for three. And the lead.
Great timing by Cincinnati and Maya Perry. Cincinnati finding a way to keep this game going back and forth.
And a push in the back. Levette too aggressive for the rebound. And Cincinnati just continues to hit their threes. They have to keep pace tonight, the way that Lind and company are shooting. But Maya Perry, bullseye. For offense, and I think if you told Cincinnati coming into this game you were going to make 73% of your shots, you'd be expecting to win big, and I think it speaks volumes to how well Lehigh has played tonight, that even with Cincinnati having a newfound element of this offense, they're only down one and have led for most of this game.
Lehigh has been on point with containing the interior game of Cincinnati. Lehigh has done a great job on the boards, limiting Cincinnati to only 4 offensive rebounds. And this is a team that is used to rebounding. They have led, this is Cincinnati, led the Big 12 in offensive rebounds per game.
Levette to the cup, and then a foul at the other end. Lind commits the foul on Reagan Jackson, beating the Mountain Hawks down the floor. So that's an example there of what Lehigh does not want, getting stuck in a bad rotation and making it a full court game. Fandre is going to come back in. They have definitely missed her down low, and the presence that she has picked up her 3rd foul earlier in this third quarter. Almost said second quarter, and then I said third half, and I would have been wrong on both.
You could have said inning, 3rd inning.
Period. We're all working on some rust.
So with all the sports you cover, it's amazing how you can even keep them straight.
I had a call earlier today. I had to remind myself which team I was talking to.
There we go.
Here's Levette. Lehigh down 2 again. Kicks it this time. Bramer fouled on her drive. DeVillesi a little late to the spot.
Second personal, second team foul.
This is one thing you're going to see from the freshmen, and of course any player is able to do it, but the discipline on the closeouts is so paramount. And again, Lehigh, the shot fake and the drive, able to pick up simple hand check fouls and perhaps work their way into the bonus.
That's staying at this end off of Cincinnati. Lehigh has missed some easy ones in this second half, and I think this is going to get looked at.
Looks like Coach Merriweather is calling for a review, perhaps of some contact. Anthony, I didn't see what happened. Did you?
I saw a battle for a loose ball, and Cincinnati was adamant that it was off of Lehigh. I saw Fandre get a hand to it, but I wasn't sure if anyone touched it afterwards. So this is a coach challenge on the ball out of bounds. So Fandre, the initial miss, it gets tipped up towards the rim, and then Fandre, I think, very clearly touches it last, and it goes out of bounds. So again, a new rule in college basketball this year, coaches' challenges. You need to have a timeout to initiate a challenge. If you do not have any timeouts left, you cannot challenge regardless of the situation. So Cincinnati in this case will retain a challenge as well as a timeout. If Cincinnati had lost that challenge, they would have lost a timeout.
Now, Anthony, does that mirror the rule in football? Similar.
Yes. Yes.
So good eye by the Cincinnati coaching staff to recognize and seize that opportunity, because in a game like this, every possession makes a difference.
That's a kick. Lehigh was off to the races, but very clearly kicked.
Well, once again, Lehigh, smart. They decided to trap the freshman, Joya Crawford, coming off of this ball screen, and Crawford attempts to split the trap. There was just a little bit of daylight, but no, says the Lehigh defense. Not today.
A little bit lucky there that that ball hit off of Bramer's foot, or that would have been an easy deuce. They're going to get the steal anyway, or at least they thought. Levette got her hands on that one, and almost a takeaway again. 5 left for Crawford. Trying to cross up Bramer. Inside, and a whistle. So all of a sudden, Lehigh, uncharacteristic sloppiness, I think. They've missed some around the rim, and they're committing more fouls on the drives.
Cincinnati being aggressive downhill, not settling for too many jumpers. Joya Crawford, as a freshman, this is what she brings to the table, is this explosiveness going straight to the basket. And that, Anthony, is 4 fouls on Lily Fandre.
I was just going to say that is a huge, impactful foul there. And again, Fandre, a player we talked about, team-oriented. She only has 4 points tonight, but 5 assists, 4 rebounds. She's just a presence. And now you have to wonder how long Coach Messier keeps her on the sideline with still 3 minutes left in the third and an entire 4th quarter to go.
So Cincinnati extending their pressure again in the first quarter. We saw a little bit more of this full court 1-2-2. Lehigh had no problem breaking the press. And this time Lehigh just picks up a whistle. Another off the ball foul.
And there's Fandre watching on with those 4 fouls. They do have some depth in there. We've seen the way that Mianis has played tonight. Bramer provides some size inside. Lind has been great tonight, but obviously a focal point for any scouting report. Long kick, Azado. That's off the mark. Good effort from Bramer, and then some extracurriculars afterwards. Perry got the worst of it on the loose ball.
Maya Perry just taking time to compose herself off of this scramble, loose ball.
She just got caught over the back of Lind and just let her fall over.
You know, the first game of the season for both teams, everyone's out here on a hustle, and with so much confidence and each team has in their season, they both want to come out with this first opening night win.
So Perry checks out, a little bit banged up on the sideline, and Azado banged inside, but doesn't matter. She converts, and a chance for a 3-point play.
So Azado ran off the 3-point line by Crawford, and Ramaya Bird not quite outside of the charge zone fast enough. Phenomenal drive and finish by Azado.
How about the game for Jessie Azado today? 18 points. If she makes this free throw, she would be the team leader in points. And you just saw Perry there a moment ago, checked out by Nate Hoffmeyer, the athletic trainer for Cincinnati. Seems to be grabbing the left hip area, so something to monitor here. Cincinnati's leading scorer on the bench and in some pain. Lehigh back within a point. Crawford downhill and had it partially blocked. Bird can't clean it up. Torrance, second try. DeVillisi fakes it and now takes it.
Watching these two guards together, Kalia DeVillisi and Joya Crawford, they are just a dynamic energy on the court and right at the rim for Cincinnati. Great job of using her body to draw that contact. Ellie Mianis just there, tried to get out the way, but great opportunity for Cincinnati to try to extend their lead.
Just the first foul on Mianis, and it puts DeVillisi at the line. Just 2 of 5 from the stripe tonight. Cincinnati overall, they are known for free throw shooting. Last year they led the Big 12 in free throws made per game. They love to get to the line.
Now with this defensive lineup that Cincinnati has in, they're agile and mobile. They can switch screens and try to prevent some of these cutters inside.
Levette looking inside, Mianis not there, and then Azado cutting the wrong way. Miscommunication. It's going to give it back to the Bearcats.
Well, again, Cincinnati playing without a true 5 on the court. Ramaya Bird and Kylie Torrance holding down the responsibilities of the interior defense, and it looks like it's going to be well for Cincinnati to kind of keep this flexible defensive matchup.
Double team up top. Bird is wide open, and a great find from DeVillisi after getting trapped.
Trapping, trapping, trapping. The first time we saw it almost didn't go Cincinnati's way. That time they were able to stay composed and find the open defender. When two are on one, then one is wide open.
Lind on the drive and going back to the line where she's made her mark mostly tonight.
Again, nice split of DeVillisi to split the trap to find Ramaya Bird, the redshirt junior, open under the basket. Excuse me, redshirt sophomore.
Two shots.
Well, we've seen Lehigh these last couple of defensive possessions, they be double up top, and you like the idea, but Cincinnati's had some success splitting it. What's the key to a good trap up top to avoid a split and get the steal?
You have to keep your feet together. Keep your feet together and make sure your inside arms are crossed. Do not allow the split. If the offense does try, be prepared to take the contact and make the officials call a charge.
Levette is denied. Torrance with a big block.
And that's what Cincinnati needs. Get some momentum, get some excitement. Levette driving to the basket. She has had quite a night herself, but Torrance, she understands what time it is, and between Torrance and Bird with their length, look for them to continue to be disruptive.
10 seconds to shoot after the block. Levette inside, ready, hook shot. And Torrance skies up for that rebound.
Great rebound by Torrance, and that's what Cincinnati needs. Rebound with a sense of urgency, and another offensive rebound for Ramaya Bird.
Levette. Long up ahead, Mianis lets the defender fly by. And that is on the floor, a foul on Lehigh.
Well, we talked about their rebounding, and right now, Bird and Torrance understand the assignment. If Cincinnati's going to come out with this win, they must rebound. On the flip side, Lehigh, they're doing a good job of moving the basketball. They haven't hit from the perimeter lately as they did earlier. Look for them to spread and try to get some of those cutters again.
So the Mountain Hawks getting into some precarious foul trouble here. Bramer just picked up a fourth. So Mirto Leonodi is into the game for the first time. She's played on some Greek youth national teams, another international prospect for Lehigh. First time we've seen Leonodi tonight. 1 of 2 for Bird at the line.
There's 4 international players on this Lehigh roster. Leonodi being one of them from Greece.
And they can hold for the final shot. Down 4. Azado. Coach Messier signaling a play from the sideline. It's up top to Lind. Lind downhill, and Lind's sanity continues. A 3-point play in front of her home crowd.
What a night. Whitney Lind now 21 points, 9 of 11 from the free throw, about to have an opportunity to increase that even more. And on the drive, smart finish here. She just goes up nice and poised, finishes strong with the left. Make that 22 points for Wynn's homecoming.
Off the mark for Jackson, and it is a 1-point game.
It's going to mean she's going to have to tighten up her game and her discipline. It's difficult to play when you have 4 fouls and you're in this type of a crunch matchup.
Ready, puts it on the floor. Kick out, Lind again. Great rebound, Levette gives Lehigh the lead again.
Well, we look at the bench scoring, and it's been on point, but the starters for Lehigh have consistently been there, and Grayson Levette.
Crawford trying to speed it up a little bit. 10 seconds. Jackson falling away. That's a tough shot. Thomas collects it and lays it in.
When Destiny Thomas is in that red zone, right underneath the basket, she's very difficult to stop. And we've seen that not only in this game, but also when you look at her play in the Big 12. Cincinnati's glad to have her back after missing last season with injury.
It's been a game that Cincinnati hasn't used the post players very much because of this 5-out offense for Lehigh. The bigs have killed them from long range tonight. Mianis misses that one. DeVillisi downhill and gets blocked by Mianis.
DeVillisi, the freshman, has to understand when it's time to pull and when it's time to push.
And that is an and one continuation for Azzado. So another change this year coming into the season, AB. The officials in the rules committee decided they want more continuations to show off the athletic play at the collegiate level. So you're going to see a little bit extra. That bump way outside the lane, but they're going to start calling more of those continuations.
I like the play and I like the adjustment to the game. As you mentioned, it's going to not only highlight the athleticism and the finishing, but it's going to force defenders to stay in the play, and you'll see a lot fewer flops.
Torrance cleans up the miss as we continue to seesaw back and forth. Cincinnati leads, Lehigh leads, and now Cincinnati back in front. Lind, and Lehigh leads again.
Whitney Lind, what a clinic she is putting on tonight. 24 points.
Jackson doubled, and now stuck, and throws it away. Levette the steal, 4-on-2 the other way. And an easy lay-in for Lind, who continues to show out.
Well, Reagan Jackson was in a pickle there. No one pulled back to the basketball. So what does Lehigh do? Pick up the steal down the court, an easy layup.
Each team with 2 players with 20 or more points tonight. Jackson, one of them. Crawford, long range.
Cincinnati, no movement on offense. Everyone is standing stagnant. On the flip side, Lehigh continues to move the ball east and west and continues to send cutters through the lane.
Azzado, that's tough, gets her own miss. Cleaned up by Crawford. Here comes DeVillisi. Torrance grabs the miss, but a push first. After the DeVillisi miss, it's going Lehigh's way.
We've talked about offensive rebounding. The offensive rebounding is key, but what also is important is the transition offense. Lehigh is getting out. They are dominating this game right now in motion. Cincinnati technically has more fast break points, but the momentum of the flow of the transition game belongs to Lehigh. And then we talked about rebounding a little bit, Anthony. Lehigh gets another foul going against Cincinnati with a good box out.
And that's a 10-second violation. So Cincinnati forces a turnover to get it back.
Cincinnati right now playing to its strengths. One of the strengths is the pressure, the defense, using that signature that they have. And again, Cincinnati can go deep. So right now, all out, forget about fatigue. You have to run Lehigh down.
Maya Perry back in the game for Cincinnati, and that hip looks good, taking it to the basket.
It's a great take by Maya Perry, now with 26 points to lead all Cincinnati scores.
Another great cut. Lehigh has been killing Cincinnati all night. Azzado lays that one in.
A simple back screen, no switching and no communication by the Bearcats.
Crawford draws the foul.
So it looks like it's another charge going against Cincinnati.
It is. The Lehigh fan section just erupted. So it's going the other way. My apologies, an offensive foul.
That is the 4th foul on Julia Crawford. Cincinnati now has 3 players with 4. Lehigh, 2 with 4 fouls.
And timeout, Coach Messier. Her team is up 3 on the road, trying to take one in the season opener. But Penn State, St. Joe's, Ball State, they have some challenging games away from Fifth Third Arena. Now whistle on the inbound away from the basketball on Delaney Snyder bumping Fandre.
Difficult whistle against Cincinnati. And just a quick look back here, Anthony, at Lehigh's schedule. This is why Lehigh was ranked in the top 25 of mid-majors last year. Not only their play in Patriot League, but they do play a nice, robust non-conference schedule.
And another foul away from the basketball. It's on Snyder again, guarding Fandre. So to our point, AB, Fandre has not scored the most points tonight, but a focal point, somebody that Cincinnati has had to pay a lot of attention to. And those 2 fouls by Snyder put the Bearcats over the limit. So any defensive foul the rest of this quarter, Lehigh is shooting free throws.
Lily Fandre, 4 points on today's game, 4 fouls. One of the leaders, one of the senior leaders for this Lehigh squad.
She could not make Cincinnati pay. 0 of 2 at the line. How about that steal? Levette just rips it away from Perry. Down low, Levette, baseline pass, slithers it through there to the corner. Ready, cut off. Azzato, nowhere to go. Levette now. And a travel. All that movement and great passing for naught.
I was just about to comment on the poise of Lehigh to be patient, to work the ball around, but one too many happy feet there at the end. And as a coach, you hate to see that, especially when it comes down to this crunch time. Those type of unforced turnovers, when you go back and watch film, those are the moments of the game.
So Lehigh continuing to give Cincinnati chances to stay in it. Crawford misses at the rim.
Once again, another highlight moment that will go up when you watch film, where players got to be able to capitalize on those easy opportunities.
Perry gets downhill again.
Nice job by Maya Perry. The simple hesitation and delay in her speed allowed the defender to get just enough off balance to give her the edge and turn the corner.
81-80. Lehigh has had some chances, but hasn't taken advantage of adding to the lead. They do there with Azzato on another cut.
What a great pass by Reddy. A little look triangle, almost looking type of a cut there with a nice bounce pass.
Giannis hedges out and hounding Jackson.
Lehigh switching the ball screens and having the defender on the ball just smother and make the pass outs and the hit to the roller nearly impossible.
Perry, late shot clock, has to create. And a whistle on the rebound. They get Reddy. That's her 4th. So now you have Bramer, Fandre, and Reddy all with 4 fouls. Bramer coming back in to replace the freshman from Australia. Fortunately for Lehigh, everybody else is in very good situations with their fouls. But those 3 all have 4. Perry pumps, turnarounds. Thomas battling inside, it'll stay at this end again. Touched by Lind out of bounds.
One thing you're noticing about Cincinnati is on their drives, they seem to have high tunnel vision, and their head is laser focused on their defender and or the rim without necessarily looking up and seeing open cutters. On the flip side, Lehigh is always looking for that next pass opportunity.
Azzato helps, but deflects it out of bounds. 11 to shoot on the timer for Cincinnati.
11 seconds of the shot clock.
Mountain Hawks making everything inside difficult. That is out of bounds. It is going Lehigh's way. An excellent closeout again on the sideline.
Lehigh is approaching on the catch. Cincinnati has no room. Reagan Jackson's going to take the inbound, doesn't even have time to pivot, and it's her momentum that takes her out of bounds. No contact there by the Lehigh defender.
Chance to make it a multi-score game. Bramer over to Levette. Back to Bramer for three.
Three minutes left in the game, and it's a three-point ball game.
And it stays at a three-point game. Jackson misses. And out of bounds, Thomas on the sideline. 83-80. Lehigh trying to hold on.
Well, long shots create long rebounds. And that one off of the backside, Destiny Thomas there, but just foot out of bounds. And another look at the rim for Lehigh off of a basket cut. They're executing offensively so well and so clean.
They have missed some in this second half, and it's prevented the Mountain Hawks from having a much larger lead. I can think of at least 3 or 4 right near the rim in this second half they've missed. There's another one of those traps. Over to Perry. Hopping through and one, and a chance to tie it at the line late in the fourth.
Well, Maya Perry, we talked about Cincinnati being laser focused and not necessarily looking for the next pass. And right now, Maya Perry says no need to look for anything else when she gets that ball. Great move, savvy footwork to split the double team and come in with the finish.
The silver lining there for Lehigh, the foul called on Levette, not Fandre, who is playing with the 4 fouls. And that's a travel. And Coach Messier on the sideline is saying, shoot it.
Yeah, she's motioning to Lily Fandre to go ahead and just take the first shot. And honestly, I think she had that ball down prior to. That may have been a missed call there, but nevertheless, Fandre, a great three-point shooter. Again, she shot 40% last year from 3.
Again, Cincinnati's post players, that's the reason they've played a bit smaller tonight. They've been getting killed outside. They're not used to coming out and defending shooting post players. Levette once again in the passing lane.
So although the possession stays with Cincinnati, note the shot clock. Cincinnati now only has 15 seconds, and in a game where the execution is so important.
The Mountain Hawks have been there on the catch all night. DeVillesi has it with 5. And the floater game is good.
The super freshman. 3 defenders had their hand extended, and coming in listed only at 5'8". DeVillesi comes in and finishes.
Inside, Lind fighting through, it's knocked away, and Torrance has the loose ball.
Ramaya Bird and Kylie Torrance with their length able to cause deflections. Whitney Lind lipping up the court.
Just now getting back in the play. In the corner, Jackson. Long rebounds and corralled by Bramer. Lind seems to be running a little bit better now. She's spotting up in the left corner. And Addie Messier is going to call timeout, likely to get Fandre back in as well. She will. And likely to give Lind a little more time to recover. 2-point lead for Cincinnati. Watch for those back cuts towards the basket. Lehigh has done an excellent job of getting looks at the rim tonight. Fandre on the drive. Fandre off the window.
Straight textbook. Out of the timeout, Coach Addy drew up the play. She subbed Fandre back in the game just for this moment.
Tied at 85. DeVillasi misses. Rebound Lehigh. Bramer has it into the front court. 9-second difference shot in game clock. DeVillasi limping back in defensively.
Tie score, very crucial moment here for the Cincinnati defense and the Lehigh offense.
Levette with 6. Towards the rim, and a foul. Fandre with a great catch in traffic, and it's going to lead to free throws.
Well, looping around the top, Cincinnati committing the foul on Fandre, another basket cut, and this has been the signature of the Lehigh offense all night. Of course, Sheridan Shoot It has come through for Lehigh, but they've only made 9 threes. The key factor for Lehigh has been their ability to cut and move without the basketball.
So now it's up to Fandre to make some free throws. She missed her last 2 at the line, and only 2 of 5 tonight. And if you're Katrina Merriweather, AB, you have to start thinking about your last possession, right? Because you're either tied, up 1 or up 2. Either way, you need a basket to win this game. So if you're Cincinnati and you're Katrina Merriweather, factoring all that in, what are you thinking about over there?
Well, Cincinnati has been on the positive end of things when they've been attacking the basket. They haven't hit as many threes as of late as they hit early, so of course they need to have a play going at the rim. Don't be surprised if they fake the ball screen, bait Lehigh into another trap, only to slip the screen or to throw back and in.
So Fandre does her job at the line. She makes them both in crunch time. And Cincinnati calls a full timeout, down 2. And again, like you were saying, get something towards the basket. You probably don't want to run this down all the way. You want to give yourself a chance for an offensive rebound, perhaps, if you miss.
Absolutely. Cincinnati should make sure that they get their shot with at least 4 seconds on the clock. That way it gives them time to go up, gather, finish, or get one more pass and out. Ideally, you probably want to go somewhere between 4 to 6. But more importantly than that is to get the best shot, to get a nice high percentage shot that you're looking for. They've got 3 rebounders in the game. Destiny Thomas, Ramaya Bird, and Callie Torrance are all in the game, all phenomenal rebounders.
The other 2 players, Reagan Jackson and Joya Crawford. The possession arrow does favor Cincinnati. Lehigh still has 2 fouls to give here. That's important as well. You can foul before Cincinnati can get into a shooting motion and force them to reset.
Anthony, that may be the key stat of the game right there. If Lehigh takes advantage of this opportunity, and if they're aware and they can commit the foul, let a time run off and make sure it's a non-shooting foul, that's the most important piece.
Which is important with the new continuation rule. You need to make sure it would be an on-the-floor foul. So it's Jackson, Thomas, Torrance, Crawford, and Bird out there for Cincinnati, down 2. It goes to Crawford.
Lehigh opting not to foul.
Torrance has it, too strong, tipped around. Lehigh has it, and they call it timeout. Lehigh possession with 3.7 to go, and a timeout, Coach Messier.
It's a great hustle by all the players on the court. Phenomenal rebounding by Lehigh, and it looks like Joya Crawford is down.
Holding on to her face. They had a couple of looks at the basket. Torrance, the initial shot, too strong off the window, and then a battle for the ball in the paint.
Joya Crawford, a strong player, slow to get up.
Again, Cincinnati already dealing with some injury concerns with Alexander and Barrett, both out at the start of the season.
So as the whole play unfolds, we see Torrance with the first miss, and then on the rebound, Joya Crawford just knocked down. Just some physicality there we see in the lower end of the screen.
You have to wonder if it's when she fell, if that head in any way snapped back. And Nate Hoffmeyer, the athletic trainer for Cincinnati, taking her towards the tunnel and does appear to be looking at that head and neck area.
Well, Lily Fandry and Joya Crawford were on the left side of the court, and Lily Fandry was going in for the box out on Crawford, but it seemed to be a clean contact, but Crawford hits the floor.
The officials are looking at it just to make sure nothing was over the top and malicious, which it didn't appear to be, AB. I think just a battle for the loose ball, and inevitably somebody's going down, and unfortunately it happened to be Crawford.
Yeah, all game long, both teams have done a great job of being physical, and both teams have 3 players with 4 or more fouls. Maya Perry for Cincinnati fouled out with 5. The difference is in the rebounding. Cincinnati has the overall edge on rebounding with 34 rebounds to Lehigh's 32 rebounds, but the offensive rebounding edge goes to Lehigh. Lehigh 13 offensive rebounds to Cincinnati's 11, and that right there may be a key factor in why this game is skewed in Lehigh's favor.
Oh, Crawford has returned to the bench. She will not be on the court for this possession, but good to see her back on the bench with her teammates. The officials still looking at this. For Lehigh, it appears they'll have Bramer, Azzado, Lind, Fandre, and Levette on the floor. Cincinnati will have Jackson, Thomas, Bird, Torrance, and DeVillasi.
Officials still conferring there at half court.
Checking the time a little bit as well. 3.7 on the clock. Lehigh will get the basketball right in front of their bench. And again, no fouls to give for Cincinnati. So any foul will result in free throws, and we're going to get the explanation.
Okay, so what the team did was anything unobserved, it was teammate on teammate, nothing unobserved. We're going to resume with the option to advance to Lehigh.
Thank you. Thank you. So just as we expected, making sure that nothing was unobserved there, extra malicious that would have resulted in free throws one way or the other. They did not see anything, body to body. Lehigh advances the basketball with the timeout, and it's their possession on the inbound. So Cincinnati needs a steal or a foul, and they get the foul in the corner, getting Bramer. It takes 1.1 seconds off the clock. That fouls out Torrance as well, so she's done.
A tried and true strategy when a team needs to commit or would like to commit a strategic foul, particularly on an inbounds possession, you go for the steal or the jump ball first. Then if you don't get the steal or the jump ball call, you commit the foul.
Well, Bramer at the line for 2. She makes 1 to make it a 3-point game. This is a huge free throw to make it a 2-possession game. Again, keep in mind, Lehigh still with two fouls to give. Cincinnati has a timeout. She misses the free throw. It's tipped towards the corner and out of bounds, but that is a smart play just to let some time tip off the clock.
Big rebound by Cincinnati. If they would have been able to secure that board, it would have given them a chance to push and get something up in the air. But now Lehigh, again, as you mentioned, smart play, tip it out. Difficult situation for the Bearcats.
And just a smart play. We've seen it most of the night of Lehigh just being so smart. If you're not going to get the rebound, just tip it towards an area. and let extra time tip off the clock. You get back defensively and make Cincinnati go chase it.
There's so many finer details of the game that Lehigh has just integrated into their natural style of play. And Coach Addy talked about culture quite a bit. Her father being a coach of multiple sports who has an eye for culture and atmosphere of the team. And those little details, when those are integrated into the fabric of the culture, look for Lehigh to push again, not only in the Patriot League, but perhaps for another NCAA tournament appearance.
The officials check the timing, and there's 1 second left. So, again, just such a smart play. Azzato at the free throw line, Levette there as well, just tipping it towards the corner. They do add 0.6 of a second, so it gives Cincinnati a bit of extra time. But at this stage, AB, you really only have the option to shoot a three. You can't get anything towards the basket needing 3 points.
That's right. Cincinnati must have within their playbook a late game 3-point opportunity.
Perry is out with the 5 fouls, so Jackson would be the likely option for the inbound. It goes to Jackson, and it's blocked. It's Mountain Hawk madness in the season opener. The Patriot League champs come on.